What are some of the most important things that you absolutely have to prioritize in order to fully overcome your long-term insomnia and sleep problems? In today's video, we're going to be talking about this topic in relation to World Sleep Day, which is today. World Sleep Day is hosted by the World Sleep Society, and the purpose of it is really to raise awareness about sleep problems, the importance of sleep, and even things like insomnia, so more sleep disorders and significant sleep issues. So that's really why we're going to take this theme and we're going to really look at how you can move forward in a different way. Now, the World Sleep Society does pick a theme for each year, and this year's theme is Make Sleep Health a Priority. But instead of just looking at sleep health as a priority, I'm going to talk to you about really how you can work on the right things in order to see your long-term insomnia and sleep problems change and get better over time. That's really the focus of my work within my sleep coaching practice. So that's why we're going to turn our attention to this sort of subtopic within this sleep health priority idea. Now, if you haven't heard about World Sleep Day, you can simply visit the World Sleep Day website, which is hosted by the World Sleep Society, or even just use hashtag World Sleep Day, and you're going to find plenty of different resources from many, many different practitioners who engage with this World Sleep Day as a delegate. So I've been a delegate for 8 years now, and each year we look at how we can support people globally in order to really improve their sleep in a practical way. Now that we covered that, let's really start talking about some of the key messages in relation to World Sleep Day and some of those priorities that I would like you to shift, and what are some of those things that you can really focus on so you can see your sleep change in the coming weeks. So the first key message from the World Sleep Society is that sleep is absolutely essential for us as human beings. Nobody doubts that, but a lot of the times what happens, especially with sleep problems and insomnia problems that have been around for a longer period of time, because you have less energy, the priorities can shift. So a lot of the clients that I work with put so much of their energy into even just the work day that they have a lot less left for even working on their sleep in a practical way. So the way you want to shift this priority is that instead of maybe just reading articles, headlines, and looking for quick things, you look at, first of all, looking at your sleep and the way it shows up now. What do I mean by that? So you can't compare yourself if you're struggling with, let's say, falling asleep to someone who is maybe struggling with several nighttime wakings in the middle of the night. Those are very different dynamics when it comes to sleep. So instead of looking at general things, you really want to be looking at things and practical things that are related to the struggles that you have. So that's a really good example. Another thing that I see is that a lot of the times clients end up, through their research, reading a lot of articles about the negative implications of sleep or sleep deprivation. And the reason I would ask you to redirect that time and energy into actually working on your sleep is reading headlines often create more worry and concern. And that is not going to help you to sleep better, because naturally you'll be in a more emotional place, a more worried, a more tense, which means that you're further away from relaxation at any one night. So instead of reading the headlines that are negative, put your attention into really looking at those practical things that you can put in place in order to change the situation that you're in, but also catering for what you see with your sleep. Hence those two different ideas that I gave you earlier. The second key message within World Sleep Day is that sleep is multidimensional. So when you look at prioritizing the right things in order to see your sleep improve, you've got to also look at not just one part of sleep, but looking at sleep as a full night of great quality sleep that gives you the energy you need for the day as well. So a lot of the times when I work with clients, one of the first things they might share with me is how many hours of sleep they want to get, or what is their ideal number. But the reality of sleep being so multidimensional is that it's way more than just the number of hours you need. You've got to make sure that depending on your lifestyle, depending on your personality traits, your sleep is actually catering for you to have that really great quality, not just energy levels, but mental performance, even emotional stability. So when we're looking at sleep as a multidimensional thing, we've got to look at all the different sleep skills that I teach my clients to support you completely as a human being in order to get great quality sleep every single night, but also to be able to live your life in a very good quality way, whatever that means for you. So that's what it means by looking at sleep as a multidimensional thing. You've got to look at it in any 24-hour period and making sure that it gives you what you need in order to actually have a really great quality day as well. The third key message, and as this is especially linking back to the theme this year, is how to make sleep a priority and what to prioritize your time on. And this is very much what I do in my practice. So again, hence the book that I'm launching this year. A lot of the times what I see in my practice, especially in relation to long-term insomnia and sleep problems, is that a lot of clients just do almost random things with the hope that it's going to help them. Now, naturally, I used to do that too when I struggled with insomnia. So that's most of the time when we begin. But when you actually make a plan to work on your sleep, you can approach it in a much more practical way than just in a random way. So the World Sleep Day theme this year is very much about prioritizing and making a plan on how you're going to work on your sleep, no matter what the sleep situation is. So that plan can include seeking an assessment. Maybe you've been researching online and trying different things, but those things haven't worked. That might be the time for you to decide that actually, in order to prioritize your sleep and your sleep improvement, it's time to actually speak to someone and have a sleep assessment. I always encourage people to do that because naturally you might not be as practically knowledgeable about the extent of sleep problems and sleep disorders that a qualified practitioner is. Then part of this is also commit to yourself. Instead of just randomly putting things in place, you really want to make some sort of a plan that lasts for a period of time. Now, when I work with severe insomnia situations, it can actually take up to 3 to 6 months, depending on the situation, to see a complete recovery from that issue. Now, your case might be different. You might not need that long, but giving it enough length to work on your sleep is really going to give you the best success rate. So instead of prioritizing just putting in place a few little things, make a plan on how you're going to work on your sleep proactively for a couple of weeks or even longer. And again, in my book, that's the plan I share. And I say it in the book as well. You've got to give it time. You've got to give it time, effort, and you've got to work on it. You can't expect changes to happen out of the blue if you're not actually proactively changing something about your sleep. So making the plan can include accountability, maybe some sort of way that you're measuring the results. That's something that I highly recommend. If you put a number of things in place, but if you don't know that they're working, you're not going to be able to progress from there. So measuring the outcomes of whatever you do is a great way for you to completely become confident about whatever tools or techniques are accurate, relevant, and practically helping you. That's very much, again, how I talk about sleep skills. Those things that will work for you as a human being will always support you in the coming years. So these are the 3 key messages around World Sleep Day today. And this idea of making sleep health a priority, but in relation to long-term insomnia and sleep problems. Now, obviously, if you're interested in the book that I published and even joining the book club community around the content of my book, then feel free to check out the link below. And I'm really excited to welcome you into the community and answering any of those questions that you might have around the things I share in my book specifically about long-term insomnia and sleep problems. But other than that, there'll be plenty of other resources online around World Sleep Day that you can really use to guide your path or your plan to improve your sleep, overcome your long-term insomnia and sleep problems. So thank you so much for watching, and I'm looking forward to continuing to support you through my work and through my videos, not just on my website, but on my YouTube channel here as well. So thank you so much for watching.